The comic was set to perform his stand-up routine last night at a venue in Minneapolis, but the sold-out show was canceled at the last minute following backlash. Activists objecting in a 125-signature petition, saying they were harmed over the star's, quote, transphobic jokes. The theater apologizing for failing to be a safe space. Despite the last-minute cancellation, Chappelle did find a different venue to perform at and made fun of the people protesting him. Katie, I expected more signatures.
Yes.
125 people.
It's a sold-out show, and they let 125 people ruin the show. I think that comics and artists like Dave Chappelle need a new contract clause where it says if the venue cancels because of a woke mob, you get paid double.
Yeah.
And they pay for all the tickets, they pay the fans, and they pay the artists double. It's just ridiculous. You know, you constantly see this in corporate America where, you know, they hear some stuff on Twitter, a couple people chatting, and they panic, and they completely betray their audience or their fans over people who don't engage in the art anyway, and who aren't going to pay to go see the show. So they're losing money and they're losing credibility. So just another example. But they need a contract clause. If you cancel, you have to pay.
You would think so. Dave Chappelle, who I love, admittedly, I've seen perform live, find him hilarious. I watched The Closer, which was the special that had the bulk of these transphobic jokes. You don't have to laugh at every part of it. But Chappelle is pretty equal opportunity in who he makes fun of. He makes fun of black people, he makes fun of Asians. He's married to an Asian woman. When will this stop?
I need to speak directly to the transgender community right now.
Don't do that.
No, hear me out.
Okay.
I'll do this with respect.
Thank you.
You made a great point. Comedians make fun of blacks, Spanish, Mormons, the Russians, the Mexicans. Anybody can get roasted. The transgender community needs to have a little bit of a sense of humor, okay? If Chappelle went out there and did a set on white people, and he was like, you guys can't dance, you tuck your T-shirts into your pants, you guys swing off the ropes into lakes and yell cowabunga.
Or gel in your hair.
Yeah, gel in your hair.
Katie, that was...
You take pictures of your food, you're obsessed with Orlando. Do you think we would go out there and start petitioning and picketing? No, we'd be like, you got us there, David. You know, but so think about what we're talking about. Comedians are always looking for material, and the new material is the transgender people because it's a pretty new phenomenon. We're talking about removing genitalia or implanting genitalia. You don't think comedians are going to make jokes about that? You can't suddenly be off limits. I mean, you can make jokes about anything. We still tell OJ jokes. OJ literally murdered 2 people. He knifed his wife to death. If you can't you can still make jokes about OJ, but someone who's a guy wants to be a girl, you can't make a joke about that, but you can make a joke about OJ knifing someone to death? Come on.
We only have a minute, so Greg, I want to...
Well, to what Jesse said, I don't know who else said it, but it is a compliment when you're in the club. Once somebody starts making fun of you, that means you're in the club. If no one's making fun of you, it's because they don't think you can handle it. But I can't stand people who sign petitions. You know, in the old days, you would say people who can't do, teach. Remember that? Now it's people who can't do, try to cancel those who can. So this is more, and this is really more about the club itself. The club should pay. I think it's great that the rebound from a cancellation or a backlash always gets bigger now. Like, it just helps Chappelle. And I think you're going to see less and less of these kind of attacks as the person getting targeted always becomes more successful. But it's just amazing. The club is just cowardly. Cowardly.
If you look at the CEO of Netflix, he said this is free expression in America. If you don't want to work on the content, you don't need to work here.
I'm with Netflix. It's ridiculous. I'm sick and tired of people trying to shut other people up. You know what? You shut up. And that's all I have to say.
All right.